Hello, welcome to Heroes of the Week. It's a weekly football show about football, which I host with Noop and I. And we're going to talk football, of course. Noop, are you all right? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, like always. And hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, let's do this.
Perfect. It's very hot here in Vietnam, so I had to turn on my fan. I hope it's not too loud and you guys are not getting any disruptive sounds. Um, yeah, if you are, then let me know.
Well, it's just the background sound of, having fan.
Yeah, it's my only fan.
Oh my God.
By the way, we are recording this earlier than usual. That's because I do have a lesson in about 25 minutes. So I apologize for um, putting this forward. Okay, so Noop, we start with the first segment, which is called.
Team of the week.
That is correct. Let's do it. Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah.
Or shall
My
I
team
do
of the
it?
week. Nah, let me do it because I think I would rather not have the same name, and I would
We
give
might
it.
have it this time.
Let's see. So my team of the week is Associazione Sportiva Roma. AS Roma. And the main reason is they're doing so well, and right now they are fifth in the Serie A. All of a sudden, they are having the same points as the team that is fourth, which is Juventus, just two
Mhm.
goals behind. And yeah, like I
This is
think they
what I
have a
was
good
talking
chance.
about last week, right? I was talking about their coach,
Claudio Ranieri,
Claudio
but
Ranieri, and his amazing run,
what's a
unbeaten
team
run.
like?
So
It's
yeah,
unbelievable. I mean, Claudio Ranieri, he has been their manager before, but during that time he was trying to save them from relegation or like worse scenarios. But this time he has just taken the team to a next level, like those
yeah,
little 1-0 wins. Because at the end of the day, win is a win.
it's an amazing
And
comeback from them. That's for sure.
amazing. Such a
They
team.
might
What a
get into
team.
the Champions League if it looks like that. They are heading
I mean,
there,
yeah,
right?
if Juventus
Yeah,
fumble, it's gonna be them.
it's quite likely because if you are on such a high as they are,
Mm,
it's a momentum. They have the momentum, right?
mm.
Right,
What
Noop,
about
you
you?
will probably not guess my team of the week. Can you have a little guess? It's quite bizarre.
It's quite bizarre, huh? Is it
It's a
from the
team
top
that
five
you
leagues?
usually pick. It's a team you usually pick.
Oh my God, no way! It's FC Barcelona.
I'm gonna give it to FC Barcelona because I
Oh
thought
my
I did not actually watch the game against Inter Milan, but I heard a lot about it. I watched the highlights and I was impressed. And
God.
your team is great. I have to say, I understand why you are supporting them. They were behind. They were 2 goals behind quite early, right? Or something.
They
They
were
conceded a super early goal, like
30 seconds. I think it was the
which was
fastest.
so
I think
beautiful.
I think it was the fastest UCL knockout goal, if I'm not
And
wrong.
that was such a beautiful back heel from Thuram, I think, right?
Mm,
I was actually considering this guy for my hero of the week, but in the end, I've given it to someone else. But let's speak about Barcelona. So it's just the way they came back into this game, and Lamil
mm.
Jamal. Oh my God, he's a new Messi, isn't he?
I mean, I think at the moment he's much better than what Messi was at the age of 17. Messi
He's
was
not.
at that time he was still a nobody,
Yeah,
and at the age
he's
of 17 for
definitely
Lamine Yamal to play 100 games already for FC Barcelona. I mean, come
he's
on,
he's definitely something else, as we say.
he's definitely out of the world. And what a player, what a team. And not only that game, they also were trailing in their game in the La Liga, which they came back by scoring two quick goals, thanks to Rafinha and Fermin Lopez.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Barcelona they have always shown like the moment every time you push them back. This season, they have always shown that they can
And
fight
that
back
was
fair and square.
exactly, and that was a home game, right? This one.
Yeah, it was a home game.
So you could say that's a good result for Inter, right? In the end, but still, the
Oh no,
way
no,
they
no!
came back to the
This was a
game,
home game for Barcelona, and
yeah,
when it was UCL.
yeah. But all things considered, if you look at the result, it looks like it's a better result for Inter, like on paper. But
On
I
paper,
think
yeah.
they are definitely still the favorites to win, in my opinion. If they play the way they played, and also they won their league game, I believe, 2-1, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, Noop, let's continue with the second segment, which is called.
Hero of the week.
Yep. Okay, who goes
Have you,
first then?
have you got one? I would love to hear yours.
Well, I don't know if you know this person, but his name is Lubos Kozel. Have you heard about Lubos Kozel?
I only know Kozel,
You
which
may know
is
the word
what,
Kozel, which is Czech beer, right?
yeah, or goat.
A he goat, Kozel. Koza would be the she goat, and Kozel is the he goat. Yeah, so it's the male goat. But also it's the name of a Czech football coach
Mm.
who is doing an amazing job at the club called Jablonec, Baumit Jablonec, which is a club from the north of the Czech Republic. They are currently in the 5th position in the championship playoffs group, which only consists of the best 6 teams. And they have just beaten Sparta Prague,
Wow.
the struggling Sparta Prague. But oh my God, they were so good in this game and they just outplayed Sparta. So I have to say kudos to Lubos Kozel. And yeah, I predict great future for Lubos Kozel. I think one day, in my humble opinion, one day he will be the coach of one of the biggest Czech clubs, Sparta or Slavia. He is a former Slavia player, but who knows? He might be a Sparta coach one day, but definitely someone to watch in the future. Who is your hero of the week?
Well, I must say it's a tough call, but I might have to go for an easy one, and it has to be Hansi Flick. And just the
Again,
way how he has managed.
it's
Sorry.
the third time this season, Roop.
Yeah, I mean, he's
It's a hat
currently
trick.
managing. He's currently managing one of the best teams in the world, and with the squad he's got, with the players he's got, fantastic
Yeah,
job. The way he has kept his tactics, he has sticked with his tactics, playing up high, playing with his classic flicky flaka, which is a bit of tiki taka with his gegen press. Yeah, he has stuck with his fundamentals. He knows the process, and you can see the results. He came
yeah.
back from 2-0 against Inter. He came back from 1-0 against Valladolid. And yeah, fantastic, fantastic work. What
Great
a
stuff.
coach.
Great stuff. I think German coaches in general are known to be very good coaches. I think you can see that he's not alone, right? Jurgen Klopp did it great, and you know, so yeah, nice one. By the
Mm.
way, for those of you who are watching live, why don't you leave a comment? There's a section on the right side of your screen where you can leave a comment in the chat, and we can even mention what you are saying. As long as it's not something rude, we can say it here on the show. So you could be famous. Right, Dhruv, what is the name of the third segment for us?
Well, it's my favorite, isn't it? The
Is
villain of
it?
the week.
Is the most negative segment, the villain of the
Well,
week?
I mean, sure, but
Sorry, I interrupted you in the middle of the sentence.
okay. I just love it because it just brings out some interesting takes,
Yeah.
and it's nice. It's a nice change of energy in the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me start, if I may. My villain of the week would be a referee. Would be a
Again, referee or
referee.
VAR. Why is it that it's almost always the refs or VAR? They are the villains. They are
I
the
don't
true
know
villains
why
of
is it always why is it always Arsenal? Why can't it be
it
City?
happened
Why can't
again,
it be
didn't it?
Liverpool?
It happened again. Arsenal are
Has to
crying.
it has to be VAR. We're crying blood, mate, not tears this time.
So
But
what
yeah, it
happened
has
this
to be
time?
Michael.
What happened to us this time?
So Michael Salisbury, remember the name? The VR referee. He allowed the second goal that was scored by Bournemouth, which was a clear handball.
Oh, yeah.
It was a clear handball any day. I saw the whole process happening in front of me live. They even zoomed in, and you could see two
Yeah, and
bounces, like
these are so
physics.
that's an offensive handball. So these are usually straightforward. Anytime the ball touches the hand, it's a handball. If it's an
Exactly.
offensive handball, I remember, for example, there was a moment that when the Czech Republic played a super important game against Georgia, I believe it was in the Euros, in the last Euros, and Adam Hložek scored a goal for 2-1, and we needed that win, and that was
Mate,
disallowed, and he barely touched it. He
mm,
barely touched it with his hand, and that was a handball. It's any day. This is a handball. So I'm with
mate,
you.
I
I
remember.
understand.
I remember Kai Havertz. He did not get goal for the same thing, the same incident that happened last season or last year. I'm not sure, but anyway,
Yeah. It's the
on any day.
inconsistency, isn't it?
And the VR said that they saw it clearly. Mal there was no malicious intentions. It was a clear goal. There was nothing, no
No
involvement.
clear and
That
obvious error.
costed us
But
no error.
so wait, so who is your villain then? Because I think this goes
Michael
on
Salisbury.
VAR more than it's not the referee's fault because he can just
No, it's not. It's the
overlook
VR.
it. Right?
It's the guy who was at the VR. His
Yeah.
name is Michael Salisbury.
Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
try to be as precise as possible. And this guy was the one who
Do you think
called it a goal.
do you think this is just human error or is there any corruption involved in this?
I mean, is corruption human error?
Corruption is definitely part of this world, that's for sure. But I'm not sure that I'm
Look,
still
mate,
not convinced.
errors are usually human made, man made, they're man made,
Yeah.
and this one was man made.
I'm
Now, in my opinion, it was a clear one from what it
yeah,
looks like.
I'm still very naive, Noop. I still think that there are good people in the world and he didn't mean
Yeah,
it. But
sure. I
I'm with
mean,
you. This was a mistake.
you have been an
And
Arsenal fan for much longer than I have been, but from what I've seen, there's a clear malpractice happening, and this game costed us one point.
listen, I understand where you're coming from, but my problem with this approach is that that's just basically what you could do in your private life as well. And the more you think that you're the victim, the more you think that everybody's hurting you and you are on the receiving end, and the more you will have the wrong focus. Yeah. So I think people should not dwell on that, even if they feel mistreated and hard done by and treated unfairly. And that's why I think Arsenal fans and Arsenal players in particular, and Mikel Arteta himself, should never dwell on this. They should they should focus on playing well. And that is exactly why, and this is a nice sort of transition, nice segue. That is why Mikel Arteta is my villain of the week, because not
Mm.
only did he lose a super important game against PSG in the week, which we were all excited about that home game in the Champions League semi-final, but also he lost this league game against Bournemouth. So it's two defeats in 1 week. I'm sorry, it's just not good
Three
enough. And
wins in 10 PL games. Can you believe that? Three wins in last 10 Premier League games.
3 wins in
Unbelievable.
last, that's definitely not good enough. And I was looking at the table, at the Premier League table, and it looks like Manchester City are about to catch up with us, and
Mm.
they might overtake us, which is hilarious considering how
Considering,
bad they were.
considering our next game, we'll be facing Newcastle and Liverpool. I mean, this
And
is going to
yeah,
be really tough.
it's not looking good. It looks like you use the word to fumble, yeah, or to bottle. It looks like we are going to bottle it again. I don't know. It seems like we crumble in the most important moments, Arsenal, and it's like
But
they're
as much
gonna
as
make fun of us. Look,
I agree with you. But the problem is that whenever we point out any mistakes from we, as in like Arteta or Arsenal, the problem is that the board or the English football, they always exercise their power, and they always fine us, or they put us in a position where we are unable to point out certain things, which is really unfair. We should have the right to criticize fair and
yeah,
square about
yeah,
some things that are not right.
yeah. I'm with
When
you.
it happens often, when it
I'm
happens
just saying,
often, it
if
costs
you do it too
supernaturally.
much, I'm just saying if you do it too much, and I think it's in the private life as well, you have the wrong focus because you
I
should be
agree with you.
focusing on winning. You should be focusing on sort of planning or like coming up with some kind of plan, how to do it, rather than
Well,
feeling that
I
you are
don't think
always the
Arsenal would like
victim,
to
you're
play the
always on
best.
the receiving end.
I don't think Arsenal would like to be a team like City or Real Madrid or Juventus that often manipulates the game externally. I think we're a club that likes to play fair and square. We believe
Hmm.
in the spirit of the game, and yeah, certain things need to be addressed. At this point, I don't think referees are the complete reason for our bottling the league, but
Yeah.
they have a good hand, minimum 50% in my opinion. I remember all those games that I mentioned, that I talked, that I often did not talk, and I think we would have been much more closer to Liverpool than we are right now.
Listen, you might be right, but again, I have to. I'm trying to adopt a different approach here. I think if you keep sort of focusing on that as a fan, player, manager, you're only distracting yourself and you're not giving your 100% on trying to win. And sometimes this happens, right? This happens to other teams as well, not just to Arsenal. And you just have to deal with it. Just like in life, bad things happen to you. And if you sort of like self pity, or if you sort of constantly blaming everyone else but yourself, how can you move forward? How can you develop? Because you are wasting your energy on some. Anyway, moving on, Roop. Takeaway of the week is the next one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Let's do it. Okay, so what is your takeaway of the week, buddy?
Well, I almost just mentioned it, and it's about Arsenal. I mean, 3 wins out of 10 Premier League games, and we are currently somehow managing to be second in the league. I mean,
That's
that just speaks on where we could have been if we had won at least three more or maybe six more of those games. Maybe Liverpool wouldn't have
true.
won the league.
True. Maybe this is part of the problem that we sort of trailed off because we saw that it's slipping out of our hands, and
Mm,
I think it's part of the issue. Maybe the low motivation was a little bit lost. Like the moment we knew like it's gone, the title is gone. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the problem. But yeah, I'm with you, and I think we have said enough about this. My takeaway of the week is also very interesting. Did you notice that actually both Manchester United and Tottenham won their Europa League semi-finals in a convincing manner? So Manchester United somehow managed to beat Atletico Bilbao 3-0. I think it
3-1
was
if
even
I'm not wrong.
away from home.
I think it was 3-1. It was away.
3-0, 3-0. And
Was it?
then Tottenham won 3-1 at home against Bodo Glimt. Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is unbelievable considering how bad season both of these teams have been having. This is the worst season in their history in years. And they are basically close to the relegation. Only West Ham is worse than these two teams now. And how could these two teams be this close to the final, to the English final? And imagine what that means. It means that one of these two will have a trophy, a big one. It's
And
nothing
a
to sniff at.
Champions League
Yeah,
qualification.
and Champions League football. I cannot believe it.
I mean, on paper,
Simply
they would
cannot
have
believe it.
on paper just because on paper just based on achievements, people would say that yes, they have had a better season than us.
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's what's going to happen. I bet it's going to
and
happen.
this is exactly my point, which I wanted to prove, which I proved a few weeks ago as well,
Yeah.
that European competitions or UEFA competitions do not show the best team in the world or in
Mm.
Europe. They
Yeah.
do not. Look at this. The arguably the worst team, the worst United team, and the worst Tottenham team are about to win
It's a second
a
tier
Europa League.
competition. Let's be honest. It's a
Still,
second tier, but still,
after
I think it's
after
valuable.
after Conference League, I think the weight of this cup has increased after the introduction of Conference League. Before that, yes, you could consider Europa League as like okay, it's just it's just another
That's true. But
consolation.
even winning the Conference League, I remember how happy West Ham fans were, and Roma.
Mm,
Roma won it with Jose Mourinho. I
mm.
think, Rup, it's these are great achievements, and it's not easy. You have to beat several clubs, but you are right. It's not the same level as Champions League. But definitely the fans would be happy, especially if it was Tottenham winning it. Imagine that weight of
Wait,
their shoulders. How many years haven't they won anything?
I mean,
So
look, literally yesterday, Harry Kane, he won his first ever senior trophy. So I
and he
mean,
became and they were showing the meme that he became about the 70th player that has left Tottenham and won
yeah.
a
So I
trophy.
mean, if the curse has really been lifted, then we might see something terrible as an Arsenal
uh,
fan or as a London club
I
supporter.
think I would be tempted to watch this game because this sounds very as some promising entertainment.
Oh,
Imagine that it's not just the trophy; it's the Champions League football. It's like two trophies. And then you could
it
tell
is.
if Arsenal get beaten by PSG or if they lose the final, God forbid, then you could tell Arsenal, you could make fun of them, take the piss and say, hey guys, you won nothing this year. Look at us. We are 15th or 16th in the Premier League table, but we have a trophy and we also have Champions League football like you
This is
do. There's no
unbelievable.
difference. Imagine if Tottenham did that. Whoa.
I mean, I don't remember any team in the past few years, maybe Sevilla, that is in a double-digit position in their league and wins a Europa League. I just don't remember such teams.
It's
Even
so
even
bizarre. This season is so
so
bizarre,
bizarre,
man.
mate. It's so weird.
Right. Let's do the last one and we will call
Mm,
it a day.
mm.
So, my vocabulary of the week will
What have
be
you got?
I spoke about Lamil Jamal and I said he's something else. I quite like this phrase. If you say he or someone is something else or a place, you could say this place is something else. It means it's actually very unusual, but in a good way. It's extremely good. Or it could be extremely bad as well sometimes, but generally, I think it's used in a positive sense. So if you say
Like
this player is
it's
something else, it means
basically
like he's different from everyone else, but it also means he's excellent, right?
not
So
only not only
yeah,
the thing, not only the something has crossed the expectations, it has just blown apart. Your
past
expectations.
exactly. So that's a very interesting idiom to use. Quite a simple one as well because it's kind of clear what it means, right?
Mm, good one, good one. So yeah, I mean, that's all for the show, I guess. And
Yep.
thank you very much, everyone. Those who are watching, who will be watching, those whoever might comment or might support us with whatever you
Yeah,
have.
every comment
Thought.
matters, right? Every comment is
Mm,
important. Basically, if you leave a
and
comment, say who is your
keep the
hero
comments
of the
related to
week, whatever.
football or towards the show or towards English language. We would appreciate that as much as possible. And yeah,
Absolutely.
keep sharing, keep contacting us if you guys are interested in being a host. We would
Yeah.
love to. Zenek would love to.
Not just
As we,
Zdenek, also on the Roop. Also on the Roop.
yeah, like I said, we would love to. But yeah,
Okay, guys. Give us a like, give this video a like, and everyone take care. Thank you for watching. Bye,
yeah.
Noop. Thank you for being the guest. Oh,
Cheers. Take
co-host,
care.
rather.
Whatever.
Take
Cheers,
care.
man.
Bye-bye.